welcome to Speak Now, Never Hold Your Peace. Today, we're thrilled to welcome the incomparable Grammy-nominated Dr. Monique Nikkole, a true trailblazer whose energy lights up every room. With her newly released single, Queen of the Hustle, Dr. Nikkole is igniting a revolution of confidence and creativity for women everywhere. Get ready for a dynamic conversation filled with passion, purpose, and powerful insights that will inspire you to seize your own throne. Let's dive in. All right, welcome to another episode of Speak Now, Never Hold Your Peace, where I am your host, Eboni Stiv, and I am joined by the Dr. Monique Nikkole, as you just heard her great introduction. So we are going to get right into it. Tonight, I am wearing butterfly pajamas. So it's like a glow in the dark type color, greenish.
It's cute.
Yeah, the butterflies are like purple and green. So butterflies are my favorite animal. So
okay,
I'm all for the butterflies. So Dr. Monique is going to tell us what she's wearing.
I'm wearing a little satin pajama short set. You probably can't really see, but you see the little top here. It's a little button down. It has hearts on it. And, we're in February. It's Love Month. It's Black Month.
It's Black Love Month.
Black Love Month. That's
yes.
right.
Yes.
That's that. And it's in one of my favorite colors, which is it's like a pink. It's still a pink. It's more of a mauve, but it's a pink.
Mauve.
Yeah, so that's what I'm wearing.
You just came back from the Grammys.
I did.
So can you walk us through that experience and what that was like for those who missed her live?
It was very eventful. It was very eventful. I normally go every year, but this year was a lot different because I was actually a nominee. And I got to say this, I had to stop for a special ceremony in New York first. So I had a last minute itinerary change, which threw everything upside down, stylist wise, everything wise. And it was great though. But I had a wardrobe malfunction. My whole back was out before the red carpet. I barely made it there to take pictures, but God is good. I still smile and I'm happy. But it was great. The Grammys is also, it's always great. It's the Super Bowl of music. So I'm just honored that my peers found me fit to be nominated. So that's a blessing in itself. So, I mean, it's all cake from there, whether I get there or my back falls out of my dress or whatever, I was there. And I'm happy.
Yes, you were there as a nominee. So talk us through that experience emotionally, mentally.
It was just very different to be nominated for what you do and what you love to do, for the gifts that you have that God gave you, and to also not expect it to happen. You kind of do your art, at least for me, and you kind of put it out there, and it was a collaborative effort with a huge group of us, well, not huge, a big group of us that came together to create a project. And just to happen to find out about that on social media, because I didn't even take the time to look at the nominees when they made the announcements on the West Coast really early. I was sleeping, and not that I took it for granted, I just didn't see it coming. So it just was one surprise after the next, and it's wonderful to get your flowers for all the work that you have put in over the years. Whether you win or you don't, it's just nice to be acknowledged. So that was great. And I'm just happy that I was invited by Antonio Vergara to be on his project. And it was great from a networking standpoint too, because I met a lot of different people that do different genres of music, and it's just nice to come together and put a project together that's so cohesive. And um it was a wild ride. Like, if you actually listen to the project, none of it is, well, some of it is, it kind of straddles my genre, but a lot
Mm-hmm.
of it has like Latin undertones, and it's blues, and it's R&B. It's a lot of fusion going on, and it was just nice to be with that collective of artists.
Mm-hmm.
So, as you can imagine, it's a lot to take in, just the whole thing. Like, it's just like, it's bigger than you, it almost feels bigger than you are, right? But then
Mm-hmm.
you're a part of this collective, and it's just great. And the spirit of collaboration, which I believe in very strongly,
Mm-hmm.
and I'd like to see our people collaborate more and build each other up too, because I'm big on that. I'm big on supporting people,
Yes,
period.
you
Like,
are.
anybody that knows me, I'm probably a little too welcoming, but that's just who I am. And I'm just happy that there are others out there that decided to invite me in. And then look what happened, right? With many hands makes less work. So
Exactly.
yeah, so it's wonderful. It's wonderful.
Amazing.
Yeah.
And definitely giving you your flowers. It's definitely an honor to have you here on this platform, taking your time, putting on your fabulous pajamas and sitting here and talking with us, to inspire us. And it's just so nice to see. It's refreshing to see someone of your stature and your caliber, Grammy nominated, right? I know you're taking it all in, right? And still so humble and
Yeah,
so
cause
welcoming and so willing to still give back, you
yeah, I
know?
mean, for me, I'm always that kid from Brooklyn, so it's nice to have the accolades. That's nice, right? But at the end of the day, I put my pants on like everybody else. So
Mm,
I don't I don't feel like, oh, well, I'm up here now because this, that, and the third. Nah, I mean, it's nice, but there's work to be done. Let's get it. Let's support each other. It's enough room. Like, I just believe in enough room for us all to get in and do what we need to do. Everybody has their own lane, and how can I assist you? And just don't run me over. Don't use me.
right.
But, but why not? Why not? Right? What does it take? A little bit of your time to
Hmm.
help somebody? And in this payola day and age where everyone is selling everything.
That is so true. That is so true. And it's so
Yeah.
rewarding and refreshing when you're up somewhere and you reach down to help, or not even reach down, like to your left, to your right. Hey, sis, you need a hand. Hey, brother, do you need a hand? And like you say,
Yeah.
more collaboration amongst us will get us so much
Yeah.
further in life
Yeah.
together than
You got to be
apart.
able to see that and know that and understand and not be threatened by it. Your
Right.
light's for you.
Yeah.
Her light's for her, and his light's for him. And everybody's journey is their journey.
Mm-hmm.
And if
Mm-hmm.
you could collectively help each other, everybody will get to the destination that's for them. It doesn't take anything away from you. So
Exactly.
when you could come to that realization within yourself, then I think that's humbling as well.
Mm-hmm.
If you understand that what you do is what you do, and that there's no threat to you, stay true to what you do. Yeah.
Exactly. Like you said, stay in your lane, stay in my lane. Don't try to run me over now. Don't try to
Right.
use and
Like,
abuse me. I'm here to help you. You're here to help me. We're here to help everybody. And in the end, everybody wins. You're so
everyone
much
wins.
stronger together than you are
Yes.
apart.
Yes. 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 Yes.
Yes. And it's so, like I said, it's so refreshing to find and speak to someone like you that truly believes that and embodies that, right? Because seriously, like I took a chance. I sent you a DM like, hey, I'm doing this podcast. This is what we talk about. And, you know, there was no nose stuck up in the air like, oh my gosh, it was very, very welcoming, very supporting. And we definitely appreciate that because listeners do value what you have to say because, you know, of your stature. So it's important that you actually are taking notice of that and using it for something good and saying, hey, let's do something positive. Let's collaborate. Let's do this thing. And I love
Yeah.
that. And I appreciate it. I really, really do. I really
Thank
do.
you for having me. Thank you for
No.
having me. Well,
So we
you're a powerhouse. They need to know. I know your followers know already. Okay.
well,
She doesn't.
listen.
She's every woman.
It's
Okay.
we listen when you make when the song. Let's get into it. Then we talk about the every woman because you have already hinted at it. The queen of the hustle. Okay,
Oh,
the queen of the hustle. Just hearing the title, I was like, wow, that resonates with so many women because we don't really realize how many hats we wear. And we
yeah.
are the queen of whatever it is, you know, that we're hustling. We're mom, you know, we're daughter, you know, your wife or
Mhm.
girlfriend or, you know, and then your career. And then you may have several.
Yeah.
And you exemplified that just even in when you on your way to the Grammys, what did you say? I had to stop, do something else. So you are
Yep.
you put a voice and a title to what we actually do, which is Queen of the Hustle. So tell us how that came about. What does that
Well,
mean for you?
my brother, that's his nickname for me. So he's like, girl, you the queen of the hustle. He always says that to me. And he was like, you know what? You need to do a song. It's always like starts with the family. You need to write about it. And that's where it came from. And from there, we just built it out. And I started writing during the right before the midterm elections
Mm-hmm.
when Roe versus Wade was on the ballot, and I was just like frantic. And then the song took another turn
Mm.
away from just hustling and the businesses and the work and and everything else that comes in between as being a woman,
Mm-hmm.
especially a black woman.
Mm-hmm.
Not discounting anybody else's hustle, but we a lot of times have to be 10 times better at what we do to get ahead. And I mean, that's just the truth,
Mm-hmm.
right? So that's how that record came about. And the record could be 10 minutes for as much as I wrote. It was just ridiculous because of how I was feeling in the moment.
Mm-hmm.
And this, then I happened to be in LA. I think I was out there for the BET Awards, and that's when they had voted it out. And I broke a nail, something else, right before the awards. I broke my nail. I'm trying to find a salon before I got to head to this red carpet, girl. And I walked right into the middle of a protest.
Mm.
And everything just hit me at that moment. I was like, you gotta do something.
Yes.
Something. So that's how this record got here. I mean, it was that's what happened. And yeah, it was something. It was
Yeah.
something to feel that, to experience that, to have a daughter.
Mm-hmm.
Let me put
Hold
this on
on. Hold on.
airplane. Want to put it on airplane?
It said that it stopped. Are you on airplane mode?
No.
Oh, it said incoming call. Your phone will stop recording.
Yeah. Should I put it on airplane mode?
Oh, yeah, yeah. I mean, or he can
Yeah.
edit it.
Oh, okay. All
Yeah,
right.
yeah. You're fine. We're not live. He gonna.
Okay. So yeah, that's how it got put together. And my brother had some ideas, and we brought it to my producer Jay Hot. And then he had a writer that was working with him at the time, which I love dearly, Marco. And we just kind of got to work. Marco was like, what's with all of these pages? Like he's like, come on. I say, but it was one of those things. It wasn't a normal song for me. I had so much to say in 3 minutes, and it was very hard to condense because I'm a woman,
Yes.
and I was very passionate about it. So anyway, we got it together, and here comes that record. Yep, here it comes.
So were you so how did you feel putting it out? Because sometimes as women we're taught to be quiet and not vocal, and those times have changed, and we embrace that over here at Speak Now, Never Hold Your Peace. So how did you feel just being boldly like, you know what? I'm gonna do this.
I wasn't bold initially. I didn't know what to do with it from a
Mm,
creator standpoint, and from where the industry is now, where they'll embrace a red bottoms and lingerie, you know, or the like. But does anyone want conscious music anymore? I
mm,
mean, really, when our parents were coming up, they had a soundtrack to the movement. What's our soundtrack?
right,
Right?
right.
Yeah, music follows times, follows current events, follows movements. It's a soundtrack to
Mm-hmm.
what's going on in the moment, right? We have gotten away from that. So now, where do you find this place to market something like that? That was
Right.
the issue for me. So when Kamala Harris decided to run, I'm like, girl, just let it go. And at that point, I ran with it. I
Yes.
said, put it out there. They need to hear this. Somebody needs to hear it. Somebody needs to know that someone's championshiping for you. They're
Mm-hmm.
championing for you. You know what I'm saying? You got
Mm-hmm.
people that dying in parking lots because, people don't want to perform a life saving abortion on somebody. That's a problem.
Right.
We can't have that. Not in this day and time.
No. We
Oh,
think we're so far advanced and all the things, but then it's almost like we're being set back.
oh, we're being pushed back for
Right.
sure.
You know? So it's like at a time like this, we need, like you said, the soundtrack. We need your music. We need you. And I thank you for being, even though you said you don't feel like you were bold at first, it was bold to do that and put it out there because we need it. And there are people like us who want to hear it, like we need those records to help us get through what we're going through. We don't always, like you said, they'll embrace, the half naked and the everything else is going on, and we're
Yeah.
not we're not downing anybody. That's not what we're doing. We're just
Mm-mm.
saying how it's much more difficult to get through with a message versus not, having such a powerful message as yours. But it has been received well.
Yes, yes, it has. Yeah, I mean, kind of. So I'm always surprised for whatever reason about art and how it affects others or how it's received because you just don't know, and you make it because you personally think that it needs to be heard, but you don't know how others are going to embrace it or feel about it. So that makes me happy that women and men look at the record and be like,
Mm-hmm.
this is it. Like she gave men are like women. She gave y'all an anthem. Y'all need to run it up. When men are
Yes.
about the record and saying that women, you listening to this, then you know that you got something. Now you have maybe I shouldn't even get into that, but you got networks that won't support it though,
Mm.
right? So like I've had pushback behind the scenes like that. It should have been more visible than what it was, and I'm just gonna leave that there. I'm not gonna name
Right.
the networks, but you know, so just know that people are afraid
Mm-hmm.
to attach themselves to something that they feel has controversy. But I mean, this is what's going on in the day and times. If you could play those records drop it, this, that, the third, and you afraid of this record, we got problems.
Yeah. Well, they're afraid of the knowledge and the empowerment.
Hmm.
Unfortunately, they don't want us to feel empowered, and they don't want us to feel powerful, or to have knowledge, right? So that's why we are forced to kind of create our own spaces and
Yeah.
get the word out there as best as we can and support each other as much as we can, because it's needed. And there's going to be a time where they're going to look back and be like, whoa, this person said this, or this is how I was feeling, and this empowered me. Because how many times we listen to old records and we're like, oh man, when I was going through this record got me through,
Yeah.
or that old gospel song that is just like, oh, I needed
Hmm.
to hear this one today, you
Yes, yes,
know, and that's what that record is for me. I'll tell you personally, that's what that record, and the visual behind it was so powerful, so
yeah.
very well thought out, and it was just like, this is happening to us right now, like in our face. Like, wait a minute, are we not, what are they calling now, woke? are,
Yeah.
are we not woke to what's happening? And so how do you continue to push through the adverse? Like, how do you find it within yourself to
It's
push through?
exhausting,
Mm,
right? But I make a conscious decision every day to get up and just stay motivated through it all.
mm,
As much as the current administration wants to take everything away, right? You still
mm-hmm,
have to find yourself a balance and a center.
mm-hmm.
You have to, and I just try to center myself, and I talk to God,
Yes.
and I just keep it moving because you have to. You can't stop because a lot of what's going on is distracting.
Mm-hmm.
It's like just throw a whole lot of stuff at people. We're gonna overwhelm them, while they're taking everything else away.
Mm-hmm.
While next thing you know, you have nothing in your bank account, or you're not paying attention. You're not looking at, oh, okay, I'm FDIC insured up to this amount in this bank and that bank. Or maybe I need to move some assets around. No, this is thinking time. This is,
Right.
matter of fact, even before you got here, you should have been plotting and planning on how to spread things out and not get distracted by a lot of the stuff that's going on. Because probably about half of it might not even happen or come to fruition.
Mm-hmm.
Just can't. It just can't, right? But then you have another half that you're like, oh man, yeah, we better do something about
We
that.
got
Yeah, put your boots on the ground and do something about it,
Yes.
right? Try to figure something out. Um, our grandparents and maybe parents, depending on how old your audience is,
Mm-hmm.
um, they had worse adversity
Yeah.
to deal with, right? And they were steadfast. They marched. They pushed. They came together as a collective to make change, and they did make those changes that we benefited from. So now what are
Mm-hmm.
we doing?
Exactly.
how what are we doing as a collective? And that's where I am right now. Like, I'm in that mode. Like, am I moving out of the country, or am I going to stay here and go to war?
Mm.
Like, what are we doing?
What are we doing?
What's the plan? What's the
Yeah.
plan? I mean, now is the time. Like, it's past time, but
Yeah, it's not the time for us to be fighting against each other. It's not the time for us to, it is time for us to get as much, well, we have the knowledge. We need to actually apply what we have learned.
we need to do that.
And
We need to, I know it sounds passe, but it's like we need our own towns. We need a resurgence of real Black Wall Street. And I mean, there's so many different ones, but I'm just
Mhm.
using that because that's the one that everybody knows, right?
Right.
Um, I don't know. I really don't know. Like, the problem is way bigger than one person. So,
Hmm.
as I said, if we could collectively try to bring our heads to the table and see what we can do to make some kind of balance here, or where we're not as dependent on what they have to offer us as far as government is concerned.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I think also too, music is a very important part of our culture. You know, they sung songs to each other to help free themselves, you know, and I don't know if people don't realize that or if they didn't know, but music is very, very deeply rooted within us. So the fact that you even recognize that and say, you know what, hey, I'm gonna go against the status quo and I'm not going to I have a voice and I'm going to use it and I'm going to use it for something great to sing to us so that we get the message, you
Yeah.
know, and it's a great message. And hopefully soon we will get more people to collaborate and push the message right on
Yeah.
through the music, because that was the only way we were able, you know, our ancestors were able to talk to each other through hymn and song. And so it's
Yes.
very, very important. And I think it's amazing. I mean, beyond amazing. I don't even know if amazing is the right word, that you realize that you have such a powerful tool and you're using it for something like this to get the message out to the world. It's to be commended. It is to be commended. So no, I thank you. I thank you. So as we wrap up, is there anything that you would like to leave our guests with? Any last words? I shouldn't
Yeah.
say last. I don't like last.
Oh, well,
Any empowering words?
yes.
Yes, empowering words.
Remember who you are through it all
Oh, yeah.
at the end of the day. Because there's a lot out there and there's a lot going on, and you could kind of lose yourself in the midst of the garbage.
Mm-hmm.
Understand that you're a gem. Remember your purpose. Remember what you bring to the world because you matter, right? And that's what I got. Remember who you are. Take care of you. A matter of fact, take care of you because you can't take care of nobody else if you don't take care of yourself. And not to discount the men, but the ladies, I'm speaking to you directly. A lot of us run empty. Make sure that you're having someone, or make sure that you yourself pour into yourself too. And that's my word. That's my good word.